Hello and hi. My name is not Mark Lewison. My name is Dino V and welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, like, comment and all that stuff. This isn't going to be a long video, but what I'm here discussing is the announcement of the Beatles' new anthology release. Is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Different camps, different thoughts, different choices. I've just returned from Liverpool from International Beatles Week, which is an incredibly brilliant experience. It always is. If you haven't been to Liverpool for International Beatles Week, you really need to head up. Bands and fans from around the world, so much to see, so many places to drink and eat and visit. I've caught up with so many friends throughout the years, who some of them have been going like for 40 plus years. I think the first time I went was 83 for a John Lennon weekend. I do remember going 86 when Press to Play had been released, and I've been up many years since. It's always great. Never ceases to amaze me the love, admiration and respect for the Fab Four. How many incredible talented performers there are, not just bands but individuals as well. Liverpool isn't just a city about the Beatles. If you took the Beatles away, it's still an incredible city. My daughter and I went on a ferry across the Mersey. We went to an incredible place called Port Sunlight, which I didn't even know existed. So we went under the Mersey. One day we went under the Mersey, next day we went above the Mersey. So the whole thing is incredible. Plus, as well as the bands and seeing people, you had people on stage being interviewed by Mark Lewis. You had I'm trying to remember the names. I nearly said Billy Fury then, God bless him. Billy J. Kramer was there, plus Jeff Britton making an incredibly rare appearance at the Adelphi Hotel. So basically, I'm not here working for Cavern City Tours. I recommend going to Liverpool, experiencing the whole thing. Go visit Penny Lane, go to Strawberry Fields, go to the Cavern, go to the Casbah, go to the museum down Matthew Street, go to the Beatles Story down at the docks. There's a ton, and plus some great Beatles shops. What I'll say about the Beatles shops, notice this: watch out when you're buying stuff from the Beatles shops, not because of fake stuff, but prices. My daughter wanted a water bottle, and I love the fact she wanted a water bottle. I don't pressurise her into buying anything or liking the Beatles. She knew I was going to Liverpool. I said, do you want to come? Because she went last, and she goes, yeah. I said, really? I didn't think she wanted to go, because it can be overwhelming for some people, especially for a young child. But no, she wanted to go and she loved it. Maybe because she wants to buy some rock and have some ice cream and all that stuff. But she does love it, and she's well known up there by a lot of people. They come and say hello to her. And saw like Charles Rosenay over from the States. He brings about 10,000 people. There's all the crazy Mexican people from Argentina, Brazil, Sweden, Holland, Germany, Austria, Italia, Claire from Australia. It's mind-boggling how many thousands of people go there. And the thing is, you don't have to go to every event. You don't have to get a wristband to go into on all the different packages to stay in certain hotels and go to every show. You can just go up and pay £25 and go in on Convention Day, which is on the Sunday at the Adelphi, and so you get to look around all the stalls, and again you see bands playing, plus you get to see people on stage who might have been associated with the Beatles. Mark Maccoine was there from the BBC as well. He had a new book to plug, plus Thelma Pickles went to art college with John, and there was a few more and I can't remember. I don't make notes, I just do this off the top of my head and I forget everything. But basically, Liverpool was fantastic. So hello to all of you that I said hello to. Many friends from many years, little Steve and Keith and Carol and Alice, and saw someone else I hadn't seen for 40 years, good old Hazel Broadhouse. Hazel got us tickets to see Julian Lennon back in 85. I think it was at the Royal Albert Hall and for Birmingham, but one of them got cancelled. I think it was Birmingham. But to see people, it's like a family reunion, all sharing the same love and affection for those four lads from Liverpool. And today is the anniversary of Brian Epstein's terrible death. So thoughts with Brian, and you, me and everyone that's into the Beatles and culture and pop and music. We have that man to thank so much for. You could say, well, what about Colonel Tom Parker and Elvis? I totally get that. But for me, Brian Epstein was the most important person in the Beatles history. If that guy, if that man hadn't walked down the Cavern, was it on November 9th, 1961, with Alistair Taylor in that sweaty place, and everyone looked at him because he's all smartly dressed, and saw something that no one else saw. And I'm sure the Beatles never even thought that they could be as big as they could. So thinking of you today, Brian, who sadly passed away this day in 1967 at the ridiculously young age of 32. That man helped change my life, and he helped change the Beatles' lives and world history. There's no doubt about it. There's a gorgeous statue right near Matthew Street in Liverpool, so go and visit that. So thoughts stay with Brian. Anyway, now on to the anthology. Anthology has we had news come from Apple stroke Universal. Apple HQ this is. If you're very lucky and Apple hit me on the head, if it does, that's an act of God or divine intervention from the sky. Anthology is being released. There's a book coming out. Didn't like the book. When I got the book, it's about the size of the Jumbo 747, ridiculous size, gigantic. At the time I thought, wow, what a book. In retrospect, still got mine. Don't really like it that much. Of all the Beatle books, it's one of my least favourites. The problem is it's just too big and bulky. I know I'm moaning, but I'm just doing this. This is why I haven't done a video for quite a while, because I didn't have anything positive really to say about anything that's coming out. I was going to do one on the Power to the People release and have a rant about that. I thought everyone's just going to think, Dino, you're just negative on everything. Well, it's a fair point. I'm not negative on everything. I'm actually a very positive person, but I don't like being ripped off. Who likes being ripped off? I have stopped buying all the box sets and everything because it's just too expensive to now, and I don't feel I'm getting value for money. I bought all the McCartney archive ones, and I've also bought all the Beatle super deluxe box sets, you know, starting from Pepper and going all Abbey Road, Let It Be, Sergeant Pepper's Revolver, and we haven't got what we wanted for. Maybe what we should do is do some videos of what we don't want, because what we're getting is what we don't want or need. Let's say London Town packed together, Press to Play, Shea Stadium, Rubber Soul, for example, neither ones. Maybe we should do videos, and if Universal or Apple watch, tell them what we don't want, and maybe reverse psychology, they'll give us what we want. So do we need the anthology? Do we want the anthology? We were so excited when it was announced. First of all, we got the book being issued. I don't really care much for the book, but all I'll say is thank God they're not doing 4 volumes of the book. Can you imagine the early years, those years, like studio years, the later years, then the years after they split up? Thank God there's not 4 books. Another way of Capital, Apple being rotten to us. Because all of us fans have different views and opinions. Of course, we love the music, no doubt about that. Some people will buy everything. Some people got so much money, it doesn't matter, it means nothing. There are those that can't stop buying, they're completists, they have to have them. That's the ones I feel sorry for, they have to have it. Got to complete my collection. It's like an addiction, as I said before. And I get that. I was kind of quite like that quite a few years ago, but I just stopped. It just gets ridiculous. I didn't buy the US albums. I just didn't feel the need for them, especially when we're told, is it by EMI and everything, oh, you don't need them, even the Beatles. No, they're not they're not the proper ones, American albums. Interesting, but I wasn't going to pay a lot of money to have them, so I wasn't bothered about that. I won't be buying the Power to the People box set, because I'm insulted that woman is the vinegar of the world. Am I allowed to say vinegar? Am I allowed to say vinegar? Bloody pathetic, isn't it? Yeah, anyway, it's not about Power to the People, it's about anthology. Won't be getting the book, don't really care much for the book. I've got mine, it weighs a ton. So as I said, the size of a 747, weighs like an elephant. You try reading that, and I don't even like the style and design it's done. But there, think of something positive, Dino. So back in 95, 96, when these anthologies came out, you cannot imagine how exciting it was. Let's put it. I mean, seriously, it was so exciting. When Free as a Bird was first played on the radio, I think it was a Chris Evans played it, I think. I almost cried when I heard it. When the Real Love video was shown on TV, on British TV, it was shown, you know when you get adverts on terrestrial TV, Real Love was shown kind of as an advert, and it was the whole video. I nearly cried. When Anthology was on TV, I just watched, I was like that, like a kid. When I heard And Your Bird Can Sing a Night, they're laughing and everything, it's like, oh my God. Could not wait for the next episode. It was so exciting. So when these babies come out, it was just astronomically brilliant to hear stuff. I'd only had like crappy bootleg cassettes or even some CDs of roughly recorded stuff. I remember the first time I heard it was All You Need Is Love, them rehearsing it before Our World live transmission. That was incredible. I remember hearing different versions on cassette. This is of I'm Looking Through You with Paul on the acoustic guitar. and then Can't Buy Me Love, the early version, where I buy you a diamond ring, my friend, if it makes you feel, where they kind of repeat the vocal refrain. So when you heard all those things on cassette, it was amazing, but when the LPs and CDs come out, it was mind-boggling. It was so exciting. And if you think back throughout the years, I cannot imagine how exciting it was when Hollywood Bowl came out and George Martin cleaned it up. Was it with a hairdryer, elastic bands, or whatever he did? I wasn't a fan in '77 when that came out, but that must have been astronomical, and it did get to #1 as well in the UK, the album. But also, I remember how excited I was by the Beatles movie medley. Yes, my friend, the Beatles movie medley. That was unbelievable. Okay, it was done because Star Sound were having hits with. They had Beatles, and they had ABBA and Stevie Wonder. Basically, they covered Beatles songs and made them into kind of a dance mix. But movie medley was exciting to me. Beatles, remember that album? Was it Real Music? That was a big disappointment. Didn't even get movie medley on it. So you had Rarities. I remember the Rarities. Was it on Rarities where you had Come Give Me Deine Hand and Sie liebt dich? That was exciting to hear the Beatles singing in German, in Deutsch. So over the years you have had exciting things, but nothing matched the beauty of the anthologies on vinyl and CD. I've stopped buying vinyl now because I can't afford to buy the vinyl and the CD. And with the new anthology set, I'm not even going to buy the frigging thing. I'm not paying 200 quid plus or whatever for 13 tracks. They can stuff it. But nice apple. Nice apple. Rotten, bad apple. This came out as well. There's been many things over the years. I thought the film documentary stroke was okay. I think the CD was okay. Tell the truth, I haven't really played it since I got it. This was brilliant. The Beatles won. This is one with the DVD, so it was great. I understand why they cleaned this up and released it, and we got all the promo videos. That was very exciting, as was this. I was very apprehensive about this when this was going to come out, the Beatles Love. I was thinking, it's the Holy Grail. You shouldn't go messing around with it. It's going to sound tacky. It's going to sound awful. Wow. I remember, was it when Here Comes the Sun came on? I was driving in my car, that I pulled over because I started getting emotional, because I'm an emotional guy. So this is beautiful. If you haven't got this, you really need to get this. Never got to see the musical, and I know it stopped the music show, the Mirage in Vegas. Never got to see it. I hope he gets a residency in the UK somewhere. Please, I'd love to see that. So yeah, that was absolutely amazing. This Let It Be Naked, fascinating to listen to, but I still prefer the original Let It Be album. This was great to get as well, Past Masters Volume 1 and 2. Really enjoyed that. Just checking I got the one I thought was a BBC one now. So that was good to put together all kind of the B-sides and different versions again, like tracks like I Call Your Name and Bad Boy. What a rocker that is. So that was good to have. So over the years we've had many things released, and I forgot about the BBC ones. I've left them inside. The BBC ones, super exciting. Part of me does think they're not finished with the BBC yet. Mark my words, we've had BBC One, Beatles That Be 1, we've had 2, 3 will come. There's no doubt about it. Mark my words. And just saying with the anthology, I predicted at the beginning of the year Anthology 4 will come out. I think I predicted about 8 months ago. I should have placed a bet in it, because then I'd be a wealthy man. So Anthology 4 that's coming out, anyone that doesn't think it's a rip-off, and it's only rip-off if you buy it, or is it if you don't buy it? Cash grab, whatever you want to call it. How can you justify, how can you pigging, frigging, dogging, digging, dugging, vinegaring, justify releasing these albums on cassette and CD and not separate? Because it's all about not giving value for money. It's about ripping you off, and you don't have to buy it. I agree, and I just want to liken this to something. Now, if you're a vegetarian, I don't mean to offend vegetarians. Why do I have to apologise things? If you're out and about somewhere and you're not feeling hungry and you smell bacon, oh, that smells good. Instantly, your tummy can say, I want that bacon. Give me it. You don't want it. Sorry, you don't need it, but you want it. You don't. Do you understand what I mean? If I'm walking past a shop, I'm not a sweet addict or chocolate addict. I'm walking, oh, that packaging looks nice. Those sweets look nice. I'll have it. Do I need it? Do I want it or what? And it's the same with Anthology 4. I'm not going to buy it. In fact, I didn't buy the red and the blue albums because they were another disgusting rip-off as well. Why would I pay all that money to hear cleaned up versions, remastered, and get now and then shocking prices? I had the choice. You pays your money, you take your choice. Didn't buy any of those. Excuse me, got it on CD when it was cheap. And I shall do the same with Anthology 4. But I feel sorry for those fans that are completists and have to buy it, and primarily they're after the 13 new tracks. 13 new tracks, you're paying over 200 quid. What on earth are you doing, whatever the company is that doing? Good apple, bad apple, nice apple, not so nice apple. You're just a bunch of rip-off people. Give the people things that they want. Looking forward to the anthology being on Disney. It's on Disney. I have to subscribe. I did that for the Get Back Stroke Let It Be documentary, incredible series, and that would come out on DVD, Blu-ray, was it? And there's no doubt about the anthology will come out. I remember buying the anthology on video. In fact, I think I got bought as a Christmas present. I think it cost about 100 quid when it came out. Then years later, replaced it with the DVD, and no doubt the Blu-ray will come out. The Blu-ray DVD stroke will not be issued separately. It will be part of a box set, and I totally understand that. And we want to watch the episode where it's got George, Paul, and Ringo. I nearly said John, playing together. They called it the Three Tools. I actually don't like the word the Three Tools because it's just a stupid name. Because if that's the Three Tools, then surely Blackbird is the one tool. Isn't I Will the one tool? Isn't Julia the one tool? My point being, it's the Beatles, whether it's one of them or four of them. I hate the tag the Three Tools thing. It's a dreadful thing. And I did coin a phrase the other day. I don't know if it was the first one. Carnival is shite. I haven't heard it, so I don't know. But speaking to people, some fans want to hear it. Of course you do, because again, we're greedy. We want to hear every single thing. We want to probably want to hear, well, maybe not, Ringo on the toilet on his birthday. John burping after eating an apple sandwich. Good apple, bad apple. See what I'm doing there. When I was up in Liverpool, there's lots of people there. Mark Lewison was there. I spoke to Mark. Mark always comes and says hello. He's such a great chap. Buy his books. There we go. Plugs for him. Greatest book ever released. The Beatles Complete Recording Sessions by Mark. Fantastic. Also get the Beatles Live reference, but that's incredible as well. And he has done other books. And you don't ask him when the next volume of Tune In is coming out. So I just said to Mark, because Mark has heard, kind of like most people speak to have never ever heard it. I said, is it really as, bad and awful as what you might think or other people? And he kind of went like that. So he's very diplomatic, is Mark. He's a real gentleman. And I'm glad Carnival of Shite isn't coming out. We're only going to get that and moan. But if they put that as a bonus 12-inch in, excuse me, I've got an issue nose. If they put that as a bonus 12-inch in, or CD, EP or something in the box set, maybe people will get it then. Maybe there is another Beatles singles coming. I did think there would be another Beatles single coming. I don't, but it wouldn't surprise me if Free as a Bird, Real Love, what's that? And Now and Then, if that was issued as a 3-track EP, that could get to number one. This is my thought. I'd love to have Free as a Bird number one. I love the remix. I like it. Was it Dinner with Jabba the Hutt? Was it Jabba? No, Dinner with Greedo. I think he was saying, and various other people, I think Beatty Tone, a few, really like it. Was it Andrew Brooks as well? Sorry, Andrew Brooks. Andrew Dixon. Apologies, Andrews. There's too many Andrews in this world. So various people have said what their thoughts on a Free as a Bird. I really love it. You can hear John's voice like never before. It is stripped down. It is thinner. And who was it that said ghostly? I think it was Dinner with Darth Vader. I think he said it. He's funny. He does great laugh. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. I think he's got a few problems. He argues for himself, doesn't he? He does, yeah. Anyway, Free as a Bird. I like the mix. I love it. Nice to hear John's voice clear, but it is thin and tinny. But there's some beauty in that track, which I hadn't heard before, almost like Jeff Lynne overproduced back then, which had to be done because of the technology. So in a nutshell, I won't be buying Anthology 4 until the box set, because Anthology 4, the disc with 13 tracks on, I just want that. Don't want the rest. Don't need to hear it. Oh, crikey, I had the Flaming D'Agostini things a few years ago. What next? Good apple, bad apple. The company has ways to choose its direction. All it's do is got a new chief executive officer, and I'm sure the decision with Anthology 4 started a few years ago. It wasn't just announced when a new CEO started, and I'm sure they won't probably watch this. But if they do watch this, and whether you're, bad apple or a good apple, give the fans what they want. Listen to what they want. How many times you had to say Rubber Soul? Of course, we'd still like the Star Club tapes, but I don't know if Apple Stroke Capital, Universal, whatever. own those. I'd like to have. We want Shea Stadium. We want Shea Stadium as a box set. We want the concert, audioly and visually, and a book with that. I would absolutely adore that. We want the Yellow Submarine Magical Mystery Tour box sets and Rubber Soul backwards, especially Rubber Soul. So please give us some value for money. After all of us spending so much money over the years, many of us buying stuff because we want to have it. We've got to have it. Buy it. Some might not even open the things. It will sit on the shelf. See, I was buying the vinyls, sitting on the shelf and playing the CD. Why? Why has it got to sit there? And it decreases in value. The anthologies and all that stuff. None of it increases in value at all. Maybe that some of the box sets that are harder to get might, but the anthology LPs are not going to go up in value. In fact, the original ones that went for a lot of money won't be going for a lot of money now. In fact, they got affected by the Agostini ones, which was it Andrew Padagram said? Was it him that said that the Agostini ones are better than the original ones that issued, the anthology ones? I can't remember. I said I can't remember much these days. So anyway, that's my gripes over. I know. Which camp do you want to be in or choose? For those that have to buy it and want to buy it and know that it's a lot of money, it's going to sit there, it's a shame. The only way to really stop is for everyone not to buy it, and that's not going to happen. Look at Now and Then, look at the red and blue. When Now and Then come out, and how many versions of the single were there? 2,000. Red, blue, white, marble, black, the 12-inch cassette single. I'm not buying it, I'm not buying it. Everyone goes out and buys every variation. I bought quite a few, and it got to number one. That's what they want, us spending our money and getting it to number one. There's nothing wrong with getting to number one. But I do remember the interview, was it John or was it Paul? See, I can't remember exactly. Back in the 60s, which was a different time, saying we like to give value for money. That's why we release singles that aren't on an album, and they got B-sides which aren't on anything else. It's 2025 now. There's no value for money. No value for money. All it is, it's corporate business, making money, ripping off fans. And it's only rip-off if you buy it, of course it is. But when you want something and it means so much to you, it's hard to resist. I tell you, I'm not really hungry now. If I go out and smell some bacon or some pasta, I might not be able to resist. That's my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Did you buy all the anthologies? Do you feel it's a rip-off? Do you feel it's totally justified spending over 200 British pounds to buy the LPs or the CDs? Or are you quite looking forward to hearing the remastered versions? Anthology series was a fantastic series, and I can't wait for it to be on Disney. But I'm not going to shell out all that money to get 13 new tracks. They can stick it up there. Bad apple. It's not going to happen with me. If we all boycotted it and they were stuck with tons and tons, it would bring the price down and they would think more about their marketing and what they put on stuff. But that won't happen because many of us fans can't resist buying stuff which we might want or we don't want, we do need or don't need. And as I say, the completists, they have to have it. And I get it. It is like an addiction. And if, you know, everyone's got their things that they spend money on, people might collect beer mats or badges or cars or whatever it is. If you collect Beatles vinyl and CDs, you want to have a complete collection, you can't help but have it. But I do feel sorry for those that haven't got the money to get it and will still get it. Best to boycott it, but it's not going to happen. So anyway, that's the end of me ranting. Thanks for watching. Please comment below. These are my thoughts. I do want to do a power to the people one, but I just don't like spreading negativity. But I don't cause the negativity. It's this company, Universal or whatever, doing this thing to fans. I haven't heard one person say this is good value, I can't wait to get it. I know people are going to buy it, and I totally understand, we've all got our choices, but this is not value for money. This is 2025 and just ripping the fans off. It hasn't tarnished the legacy, but for goodness sake, just stop it. Just stop. Issue this 4 separately, which I'm sure in a few years time it will be. I'm not going to buy the frigging thing. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. This is Dino V. Leave your comments below and I'll try and answer every single one, whether you agree with me or disagree. Each comment is as valuable. It really is. I might put some comments in and talk to myself about it. So that's it. Anthology 4. This boy won't be buying it. Thanks for watching. Bye.